called Sarah and she told me to bring it into class. I ended up figuring it out, but I had a form 1099, 849, something like that. Said, said that you need a form 8889. When I looked at that form, it was like get the full information from the other people.
Did you put it on it?
No, I just pulled it off those two and put it in the system.
Okay. Was last night, I guess overall it went well. And I remember number 37, so we did too many returns last night. Now, Sarah says we were okay. I still don't think we were. Number one, we had too many people wait too long at some point in time. I had to use the other room for 3 or 4 people to go in and fill out their form. So that means we had too many coming in. On the first night, it took you all a while to get familiar with that program uh, and how to maneuver, how to do state taxes, and so forth. Uh, Terry got there, and of course, Terry's probably listening, but it didn't take her password. And you got to go in and change your password, and sometimes you got to get a code from them to, even if you got your same password in there, he'll ask you for that code every so often. So, and then Cole's mouse went out, so we searched the other mice and found him a mouse. So anyway, little things like that. Then we had this one lady that was upset and took too much time with one repair. Uh, I would refuse to do hers next year. If I wanted to, I felt like a couple of different times tell her to go to H&R Block. We didn't have time for her. We were volunteering. We could turn people down. But if you look at our sign, we have to be careful not turn anybody away. Most people, I'm sure that you all did, they were sweet, nice, and really appreciated. So Jonathan, how many did you end up doing?
7.
7. Cole?
4. 6.
So right there is 17. And I know Sarah and Savannah, and, Terry, and had one more. That's Sarah, Savannah, Nicole. Yeah, Nicole came in at 5. She helped out a lot. Nicole and Savannah, Sarah did last year. Sarah's done it for 3 or 4 or 5 years. She loves doing it. Um, puts in a lot more time into it. She only gets 10 hours a week work study, so she puts a lot of time in it. But we're going to now. I'm still concerned about a few of the returns. Now I don't know if you all last year we had to go in and click that it was reviewed before it let me e-file them. Did it do that?
Yeah, you got like ready to.
Huh?
There's a box at the very bottom of the last page that said ready to review and get the check the box.
You had to check that box. Okay, that's probably what it was. So we'll get through that. But there was still, I don't know if any of you are involved, it wouldn't, if you did a dual state tax, it wouldn't print Virginia or something. 2 or 3 would not print Virginia. Uh, then West Virginia, if you owed West Virginia, it would not print out a voucher. So that woman that Savannah had, she was going to take it down the street, but she wanted to go ahead and e-file a federal because she got back a refund. And she wanted to know why she was paying $7 more this year. Well, she made over $3,000 more. Everything's not the same as it was last year. She pulls out a calculator and starts crunching some figures. You can't do a tax return on your calculator. You got to go through the whole thing. You got to do the head of the household or the single or whatever. I ran into a situation last night, and I may have had Savannah do it wrong. Never had this before. This woman lost her husband in 2017. And we probably filed a joint return for her in 2017. You can only file a joint return in the year of death. That makes sense. You can only file surviving spouse 2 years later if you have a child. Okay. 2007. Huh?
Does it matter how old the child is?
I think it does. John, we'll have to look that up in case they changed it. But however, she got a death benefit made out to him in 2018. She couldn't be married filing separately. She couldn't be head of household. She couldn't be married filing jointly. She already did that last year. So how do you file a return for a man that's been dead 2 years? I told Savannah to go ahead and file single. Now, if we'd have lumped that money in with hers, she may have had to pay taxes. I don't know. But hopefully it goes through that way. But if they got a dead person in their system, it will kick it out. The only other way we could have done is put a note to IRS and explain that we combined the two incomes. So that was a new situation I've never seen before, preparing taxes for a long, long time. All right, this little book you have here, if my gizmo will work today, Terry, you and it should not be taking a picture of itself. But I guess that's my fault. Now, I had Brian to get these gizmos. I know we got notepad, but we got one instructor who don't write notepad. So he can put this here and lecture, write, whatever he wants, and even take a picture of it, even zooming in, even change color. But this little booklet's what everybody used to get in the mail. And it had your 1040s and your itemized deduction forms and everything in it. This little booklet is thin, but it has a whole lot of basics in it, which I haven't looked at, but I know it does. Now, we're starting on chapter 14. I asked you to read that real well by Tuesday. Now, we're into doing taxes, and we need to know what some of these credits are and what qualifies for earned income credit and child tax credit, additional tax credit. That's chapter 14. There's a lot of other credits, business credits, or maybe energy, alternative energy, and so forth credits. So business or individual. Chapter 17 has some credit. Chapter 14 has credits in it. Now this booklet, I want you to go to, golly, is every one of them like that?
Right. I looked through like a few of them. There might be some at the bottom.
I don't know. But if you open up to the first page, see, I'm going to see if I can zoom on this thing. I did something. Again, I'm taking a picture of the gizmo. I want to get away from the gizmo. All right, I'm going to stay with, straighten me up there, Johnson. Okay, let's see. That's probably as good as zooming, okay? Yeah, bending it down there may be as good as zooming. But now this booklet is totally new. I have additional income such as capital gains, that's Schedule 1. Alternative minimum tax is Schedule 2. Can claim a, seems like it's a little blurry. But anyway, Schedule 3. This one has some schedule. But now if you look at the table of contents, well, that looks pretty clear. All right. Do you need to file? That gives you those conditions. If you made under so much money, you don't need to file. All right. Following requirements. Now, line instructions for 1040, filing status, name and address, blah, blah. Now, there's presidential election campaign fund. I usually don't check it, yes, but that's up to you. Number 20, dependents qualifying child for child tax credit and credit for other dependents. Now, credit for other dependents is new, okay? Sign your return, income, total income and adjustments, tax payment, payments, refunds, and amount you owe. Now, what we want to do first off is go to page 20. We want to go to page 20. I know we've looked at this before, but who qualifies as a dependent? And before you begin, but now look at the instructions here. All right, those instructions. Jonathan, can you read this line up here?
Yeah. A qualifying child is a child who is your son, daughter, stepchild, father, child, brother, half brother, half sister, or descendant of any of them. For example, grandchild, niece, or nephew.
All right, it's all your relatives closer than a first cousin. All right, and when we get down to here, a qualifying child, under age what?
19.
And younger than?
So they have to be
Younger than what?
Is under the age of 19 at the end of 2018 and younger than you or your spouse if found.
You have to be younger than you?
That's to be a qualifying child.
Hopefully they're younger.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what is this one? Under 24 at the end of the year and what?
And student younger than.
All right. So you can claim them if they're under 24 and they meet the income conditions, which we studied there. Or what here?
Any age and permanently, totally disabled.
All right. If they were permanently and totally disabled, they can be 50 years old, for example. And
55 over half of his or her own support. 18.
that's the 50% rule that we always preached. And
Who is filing a joint return for 2018 or is filing a joint return. Only claim a refund of income tax or tax paid.
you know, some days ago, I used Jonathan right here. If he got married, him and his wife are both in school, their parents can claim them if they don't file a joint return. If they do file a joint return solely to get back a refund, that's okay. And
Who lived with you for more than half of 2018, child didn't live with for the required time to see the exception of the time.
all right, over 50%, but if they're away at college, they're still home. If you have your disabled mom in a nursing home, still qualifies. All right, so that's who a dependent is, under 19, and under 24 if you're a student. All right. Now I want you to move over to page 21. Now, folks, this comes up every night in our tax preparation. Now, was the child married? Could you or your spouse, if following jointly, be claimed as a dependent on another's return? And you put yes or no. If yes, you can't be claim any dependent. I think we ran into that last night.
Usually that's like kind of like for me. So if my parents claim me, I can't claim you.
Right. No, you can claim the child as a dependent, blah, blah. Now, does your child qualify you for the child tax credit or credit for other dependents? Now, this one is new to me, and we'll get a handle on it, and we'll look at other credits in this book and in your federal tax book. All right. I think I'm okay, but I would like to blow this up just a little bit.
You could probably zoom out and then lower it.
Zoom out and do what?
Zoom all the way out on top.
Oh, Lord, if I zoom up, if I go all the way out.
No, not all the way up. Go back.
All the way back.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, just lower.
Yeah, but blurry. I get blurry though when I do that. So bring it back up. Okay, bring it up. Now let me focus. There's a focus thing on here too. See this, when I zoom it this way, it's not blurry.
Yeah.
But there's also another focus on it. I'm just the first time using it, so anyway. Now, did the child have a SSN, which is usually what you need? Don't like these TINs. Issued on or before the due date of your return? Yes, probably. Yes. If you're applying, no. All right. Now, if it's a no here, what's that no for? If they don't have a social security number or some TIN, well, that makes sense. Whoa, what happened? I'm trying to scroll here and I can't. I've got to move my book. All right. Now, if you're not a citizen, what's the no? Stop. Now, I mentioned this before. You can be a citizen of what? A citizen or a what? You all know what a U.S. national is? No? I'm going to tell you what I think it is. My grandson is dating a Hispanic female. Her daddy is legal, so he's a U.S. citizen. All right? She was brought over here. She is not a citizen. She's DACA. Her mom is not a citizen. She's DACA. But they have a little sister. She has a little sister that was born here, and that makes that little sister a U.S. national. Same as a citizen. She was born here, and they can't make her leave. I think that's what it is, because I've been wrong once in my life. Okay. Was the child under age 17? Yes, continue. No, you can claim the credit for other dependents for this child. Check the credit for other dependent laws. But we want a yes, and a yes takes us over here. Did this child have a social security number? Yes. You can claim the child tax credit for this person. Check the child tax credit box. Did y'all have to check those last night? Or did it just automatically do them?
I did it. All I had to do was put in there. You can automatically do it.
Well, when you put in a child's social security number and their birth date, you had to do that. If it wasn't in from last year. Now, Cole had one that wouldn't bring up the pastor's information. What was that about, Cole? We leave off a number off a social security number or something.
I messed up.
And then Cole had another one he had to print 3 times.
4 times.
Well, I was giving you a little more credit than that, Cole. But one time, she wanted her last name changed. She'd married. I guess that was okay. What was the other times about? You misspelled her name?
I didn't change the husband's last name. And the 3rd time, I did change their address. And the 4th time was right.
Did the husband have a last name change?
No, it switched it just where it was under her name.
Oh, I gave her his last name, her last name. Okay. That's as bad as,
Does it really matter who the first and second tax rate?
no, if it's joint return, doesn't matter. But if the wife don't have income, I would put her second. But other than that, it don't matter.
Just like the one I had, I think it was just one, and she had the more income such.
Yeah, that's okay. That's as bad as Mr. Amos said somebody came out on TV. They were a transgender. Okay, if a man is a transgender, what does he want? What does he want? All right, if a man is a transgender, he wants to be a woman. So this is a new one for you. This is a new category, folks. Now we can do gays and we can do lesbians. We can do transgenders and transvestites. But here's a new one for you. This man wants his gender to be a woman, but he also likes women. That makes him a transgender lesbian. So that's a new category. All right. Now when it comes to IRS, if you have 2 men coming in married, can you file jointly for them? Yes. Yeah. If you have 2 women coming in, they're legally married. Now, somebody brought up a question in my office yesterday. All right. A student that lives with her boyfriend. All right. Can the boyfriend claim her as a dependent? What's your first thoughts on it? All right. Doesn't matter about the age. All right. Here's what I told the student. A few states have common law marriages. West Virginia and Virginia does not. I would stay away from it because IRS or the state of West Virginia, if you ever got audit, would not approve an illegal relationship. Therefore, don't claim them, okay? Well, yeah, they may have met all the tests. U.S. citizen, not filing a joint return, income test, support test. They met all of those, but they do not meet the relationship test whatsoever. All right, now where were we? Did this child have an SS? Yes. You can claim the child tax credit for this person. Now that's if they're under 17. Do you know how much the child tax credit is this year under Trump's new plan? $2,000. A credit is a credit, folks.
Now, what's the thing that's $1,400? said like it's the actual amount.
We'll have to look at that too, Jonathan. I remember the 1400. New law, we'll find it. 1400. Is that additional child? Oh, that may be additional child tax credit. We'll look at that. All right. Now, step 4. Is your qualifying relative your dependent? All right, you got a qualifying relative or they're your dependent. Okay. Son, daughter, foster child, or descendant. Now, I'm talking about any ancestor or any descendant. Brother, sister, blah, blah. Father, mother, ancestor, sibling, stepbrother, and all the steps and all the in-laws and outlaws. Any other person other than your spouse who lived with you all year as a member of your household if your relationship didn't violate local law, if the person didn't live with you for the required time, see, blah, blah. That's some exceptions for student and what have you. All right. Do what?
What's it mean by violate?
All right. Well, to make it personal, is it illegal in West Virginia to shack up with someone? They're not legally married. That's what it means. West Virginia or federal or Bluefield, Virginia, West Virginia. That's what it means. Living together, not married. Now, let's say your 5th cousin. I said anybody closer than the 1st cousin, right? Let's say your little 5th cousin, Johnny, didn't have a place to stay. If he stays in your household and meets these tests, you can claim him. You can claim him. Now, these age limits too, as we read a minute ago, do not have a age limit. If you got a 50-year-old son meets these other tests, there's no age limit. Now, if you got a 50-year-old disabled son, they definitely qualify. So it mentions half the support. Okay, here's an important number which we've looked at before. Who had gross income of less than how much? All right, what's the exception to that? If you are a student.
So if you're a student, you can make more than that.
Oh yeah, what'd you make? About 7?
Yeah,
Is your parents going to claim you? Okay, that's proof right there. And that's legal right there. Okay. And you're over 19. All right, let's look at these other conditions briefly. Does any person meet the condition to be your qualifying relative? Yes, go on. Was your qualifying relative U.S. citizen? Yes, go on. Was your qualifying relative married? That could be yes or no. Could you or your spouse, if filing jointly, be claimed as a dependent on someone else's return? If you put yes, Jonathan, you pointed this out a minute ago. You can't claim any dependents. If Jonathan is claimed on his parents' return, he cannot claim any of those 5 illegal children he has. Right? Okay. Okie doke. Now, here is a question that I've had myself. And I believe it's 500, but I want to see it for myself. All right. Did your qualifying relative have a social security number? Yes. Was your qualifying relative a U.S. citizen? Let's say yes. Now, remember those exceptions to a U.S. citizen On number 2, I think it's still Mexico and Canada. Was your qualifying relative a citizen? Yes. You can claim the credit for other dependents for this dependent. Check the credit for other dependent boxes of the dependent section for this person. Does anybody know how much that is? I heard 500, but I don't see it here. Does this little book have an amount? You got it, Jonathan?
On the front, it says the new tax credit up to 500 may be available to you. It does not qualify for child tax. That's credit for other dependents.
All right. I'm going to use my son here as an example. He's got an 11-year-old. He'll get $2,000 for him, right? Now, is this credit under 17? It is, isn't it? This credit is under 17. We just looked at it. Now, my son has an 18-year-old, and probably he'll get $500 credit for him. All right. So that's it. And there was no, it was just another dependent. It could have been a mother or father or anybody here. All right. So that is 500. Got that solved. Now there's one other section I need to cover today. I want to say 32, but that's not it. It's not going to have what I want. Let's look at page 32 anyway. Now, I want us to clear us up too on education expenses. We had that come up last night. I hope I was right. We had this son who was supporting his mother. Jonathan, you did that return.
Yeah, I had the woman. Carrie had the son.
All right. The son had more money. The question was, can he claim his mother as a dependent? Probably yes. She didn't have much. But can he claim mom's tuition? We know a mom can claim a child. So let's look at education expenses. If you were an eligible educator, this is $250. Now I take this off for my daughter. Did either one of you all watch the president's speech the other night? All right, one thing he didn't talk about was education. Well, Mr. Imel said that gun law may pass. If everybody starts carrying guns up here, I will be live streaming from home. Jonathan will be live streaming from home.
You say it did get paid?
No, he said he thought it might. That's ridiculous. Anybody can carry a gun, even to school.
What page are you on?
Oh, wait, a 90? Yeah, I didn't think this little book had 90 pages in it. All right. All right, adjustments. I want to get over to education if I can, see if they've got any raw rules on it. But now I've got a lady coming today about 2 o'clock from Channel 6. And she called yesterday. She called 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we weren't able to get together. But she'll meet me today at 2 o'clock. She wants to interview me about VITA. Goodness gracious, we don't need any more clients. We're solid booked for next week, and we're almost booked for the next week out. Huh?
Channel 6.
Is that Channel 59 news? Y'all don't get Channel 6 up here?
I don't watch the news.
Yeah, I don't watch it. Get to be famous.
What?
I said, you get to be famous.
I get to be famous, I guess. I'm hoping she don't have a camera with her. I hope she just interviews and puts a little write-up.
You'll get face and everything.
Yeah, I guess.
Put the address to the school and your number on there.
Oh, yeah. I'll have all that ready time she gets there, I hope. I hope.
Give them Sarah's number.
Have you seen one of the flyers flying around here?
Plenty of them. There's one in like after every stair section.
Well, when we get out of here, find one. I gotta know what her number is, and without going down and asking the secretary and what other number I had her put on that flyer, and I can just share that with the newsletter.
Just give her a flyer. Just give her the flyer.
We do that too, yeah.
Just take it down.
My daughter-in-law teaches, I believe, second grade down in Chattanooga. She has 23 Hispanic kids, 2 black kids, and 1 white kid. Now, the 23 Hispanic kids, about 21 of them are illegal. But remember, our federal law says they can go to school, no questions asked. Now, out of those 23 Hispanic kids, about 3 of them speaks English fair. And even Obama, in one of his speeches a few years back, we want you to come to America, but you need to learn English. All right? Now, does that put a strain on our teachers? She's got too many in there, 26, and 20 of them can't speak English. She's got too many. And I guess they bring in Spanish tutors. Well, that costs us money. So we are spending more money on education, welfare, medication on illegal immigrants than it would take to build a 5,000-mile wall. Okay, so that's the $250. Okay, well, there was moving expense, self-employment tax. Now, you all had this to come up, I think, in a problem. You take, oh, we had that as a question on our IRS test, remember? You're going to take 1/2 of that tax. Self-employment SEP, qualified retirement plan. All right. Now somebody find for me education credits. In this little book, see if you can find me education credits, not the 250. I think I found something on it. There's a student loan interest deduction. All right. We'll get to that education credit in a minute. We'll find it real well when we get to the book Tuesday. Now, this page, I want you to see what this says up here. What is that heading? What's that heading? Now, an earned income tax credit All right.
Some education.
Hold it a minute then, Jonathan. All right. An earned income credit is refundable. If you paid in no taxes at all, you get a refund. You make money on earned income credit. You may have made $18,000. They give you back $2,000 credit, so you made 20 last year. IRS gave you 2 of it. That's a refundable. Now, a non-refundable, the first one I wanted to mention was credit for child independent. That's a good credit if you owe IRS taxes or they took out taxes. Now, is your education credits on the same page I'm on, Jonathan? That it? All right. If you or your dependents paid qualifying expenses to enroll in or attend eligible blah blah, see Form 8863 for details. However, you can't take an education credit if any of the following apply. You or your spouse, if filing jointly, are claimed as a dependent on somebody else. Your filing status is married filing separately. If you're married filing separately, you can't take that credit. My son lost that 1 year because of that.
That woman last night, she can't take credit. She is her dependent, right?
I'm trying to think. Well, she wasn't married filing separately. She was single. You or your spouse, if filing jointly, are claimed as a dependent. Yeah. This is for her. All right. Now, what is that form? Form what? 80 what?
8860.
All right. Keep that in mind. All right. I'm going to type it in here. 8863?
Yeah.
I'm hoping something that simple. Form 8863 will give it to me. I may have to go in the IRS.gov. Now, guys, why is this thing not searching for me?
Refresh. The little circle.
I don't even see that little circle. Is that it?
You gotta research it, search it again.
Oh, okay, gotcha. 8863?
Yeah.
Oh, we're right there. You see, it says the American Opportunity and Lifetime Learning. All right. There's got to be a way I can blow that up, but I don't see it. You all see anywhere I can blow that up? Well, bottom right. Right here? Oh, okay, right here. That's better. Now, looking at the form, and this is what we'll print out from our tax program. If married filing jointly, 90 head of household, it will probably reduce it. This is your wages. You stop, you can't take it. Enter 20,000 if married filing jointly, 10 if single. That usually won't hurt you. You were under age 24 at the end of the year and meet the conditions described. You can't take the refundable work opportunity credit. Now, we can always get the lifetime learning. Subtract 8 from 7. Again, this is your wages, subtract whatever we had to go through here. I wonder what part 3 is. Remember what part 3? We'll get to it. Probably expenses. Enter a smaller of 10 or 10,000. So what is 20% of 10,000? How much?
2,000.
That is our limit. 2,000 is our limit. And we knew that. Well, I can't write on this either, so. Here are some top limits if you make over. Non-refundable education credit. We have to work through the whole thing. Where was part 3? Student education information. You got to be a full-time student, 5 months out of the year. January through May applies. August through December applies. You're a full-time student if you went one semester up here. Now here, adjusted qualified, don't enter more than 4,000 for the American opportunity.
So for me, would that have went on mine or would that go on?
They're claiming you as a dependent, it will go on theirs. You see, there's 2 credits here. I think one used to be for 2 years and lifetime is for any time. Then they did the opportunity for 4 years and lifetime if you worked on a master's or doctor's or just want to stay in college your whole life. These are not good rules, hard, fast rules on it. They're just not hard, fast rules. All right, but those education credits are good. And they do have some of these limits. Now that's retirement savings contribution. Now, Jonathan asked about a health saving. There's more credits we will look at in our book. Now, Jonathan, can you look in this book and see if there's anything on health savings?
I saw it. What? It didn't really say much.
What page was it on?
Under
This thing not have an appendix
it has like a table.
or an index?
Yeah.
It's got a list of topics, but that's somewhere else. All right, what page? All right. That's okay, John. We can find it later.
Right here.
Oh, what page?
Page 9.
All right, 90, keep that in mind, but right now go to page 76. Keep page 90 in mind. Now, somewhere back in taxes, we had a formula, didn't we? Remember the formula? If you don't, I'll show it to you. See how handy this is? You had this in the front of your tax book, didn't you? That's what we use to calculate taxes, right? All right, but with these tables, it's easier. With these tables, what have you got choices of? Single, joint, separate, head of household, right? All right, if you are single, and if you made between these amounts, what is your taxes? What is your taxes? Right here.
You're single.
Single. Your taxes is what?
12,599.
Now, what is the heading of this column over here? All right, if you made $75,700, you pay this much in taxes. If you made $75,699, that $1 would have saved you $11 taxes. That's when people say we're in a higher tax bracket. All right, but it's not that much different. But that $1 could have cost you 11. All right, now page what, Jonathan?
80, 90.
90. Oh, that's another credit. We were there a minute ago, weren't we? All right. So Jonathan, that's income that I'm gonna be taxed on. All right, you take out an IRA. If I give my daughter-in-law that 250 educational credit, or if we had moving expenses, or 1/2 of your self-employment taxes, or if you had an early withdrawal penalty, okay? Now, like this year, I took some money out of account to help my son out to buy an existing chiropractic business. And I may have made $12 interest. They did something like a $30 early withdrawal penalty. Well, they'll send me a 1099-I for that little bit of interest. So I'll have to turn around and take out the $30 withdrawal penalty as an adjustment. So it works out. All right. You may be able to take this deduction if contributions other than your employer contribution, rollovers, and qualified HSS, health savings account, funding distributions from an IRA were made to your HSA. All right. Money, a rollover, or whatever, but usually money. You take an adjustment. So when you type that in there, Jonathan, it should take it off on the 1040 as an adjustment, but it fills out 8889. Okay, it will fill that out. That's one
I
thing.
was looking, it was like, whether the contribution or distribution automatically shows up on your W.
The distribution automatically shows up on your 1099. Annuity, an IRA, annuity, or retirement, 1099.
But that's where I was getting confused, because it was already put in from the W-2, and I was re-entering.
Oh, I got you. Can't do that, yeah.
So then I just had to end up having to read on it, and it said, I just looked on the program, it said below it, this amount's already on your W-2, if this is like any excess.
Right.
That's what.
Well, there was one night, the computer didn't want to take it. I don't believe it was one of you guys, but it had, and mine from the state of Virginia. Mine might have total distribution, 30,000. Taxable distribution, 28,000. And the program last night said that box 3 could be smaller than box 1.
I know something.
But that's a bunch of hogwash. What y'all do, just continue?
I didn't.
But what that is, if I get 30,000 out of Virginia as a retirement, and only taxed on 28, that means I paid in some of that retirement. I paid in some, and I'm not gonna be taxed on again, that's all it is.
I know something like that.
So if you get to that point, all you can do is continue, because that box can be smaller than that first box. Now be careful on a W-2. You're taxed. You may have made 30,000 and you're only taxed on 28. That's because you took out a 401k non-taxed. So you made 30,000, but you're only taxed on 28. Be careful with that. Okay, I'm gonna get ready for this lady to come, so I'm gonna let y'all go. John, if you would, find me one of those slides, bring up some office. And read chapter 14, bring your textbooks and class. Hopefully next Wednesday night was a lot better than last night, but it wasn't real bad. I mean, first night's always a little chaotic.
I feel like now, since actually having experience actually doing it on the program, I feel more confident.
Oh, you'll get more confident every night, yeah, you'll get better.
It's like easier to understand.
Right, you need to be done rebooted up before board. Okay. But we have people waiting in there at 3:30.
Their appointment wasn't till 4.
Huh?
I said that their appointment wasn't till 4.
I know, you know how they are.
Told me to work.
Yeah, well, they can wait. Okay, Terry, we will see you Tuesday. Talk to you Tuesday.